So hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. There's a great deal of internet chatter about Google penalizing images that are AI generated, or in other words, AI generated images. Now, I've looked into this, and as it turns out, it all started with a post on LinkedIn because that's where you can kind of get a response from Google. And this person called Zach posted notes about this on LinkedIn, and I'll start putting screenshots to the notes that he published. And basically, what he's saying is that there has been a drop in traffic and visibility for AI images that he has been posting on his website. And I'll go into why this is bad and moving forward, what you can do to fix this issue, because what starts with usually AI images then means that any page that the AI image is on also going to drop, even though that has not been happening right now. But because it's on that page, it's seen as low quality by Google, which is why it's tanking, is why at the end of the day, that page may also at some later date be seen as low quality. Now, there are two different algorithms for ranking images and also for ranking text. And so that's a whole different discussion. But let's get into what Zach Notes has put up here. So he said, if SEO tip, if you're getting traffic from AI generated images, you might get hammered soon. And that is something I have been saying for a pretty long time, and no one has been listening. So the chart below shows web versus image on a video game anime matchup article, and the image traffic which comes from our AI images just took a big hit. We haven't made any site level changes to the images. We don't have any new technical issues, and the web traffic is relatively steady. This leads me to believe that Google put a hit out on AI images. And if this is the case, I have mixed feelings about it. For some of our SERPs, I think this is a good thing. For example, if someone is searching Google images for Nile croc versus saltwater croc size, then we don't deserve to rank with our AI images. There are better non-AI images that show the size comparison charts of our real data. This is better experience for the user's information seeking intent. However, if someone is searching for gorilla versus grizzly bear, our AI images and our AI video game makes more sense because the user is more likely looking to be entertained by a hypothetical fight between the two species. So if Google did indeed smash AI images, then yes, it's more likely improves UX for some SERPs, but for others, good AI images just caught in a crossfire. Now, if you look at the graph, it shows that his web is doing pretty okay, but the image just took a daisy dive off the cliff. So he's put an emoji there as well. Now, other people have been posting this too, and I'll put screenshots of what other people have been posting. And I've also been seeing this, but I'm not just beginning to see this. I've been seeing this for a while, and I've been telling my clients, like, if you're selling a product or you're selling something online, or even if it's a video game site, do not use AI generated images, because it gets caught up with Google's policy. So it's against Google's policy that tries to combat misinformation. And so the computer doesn't really know what misinformation is. And so initially what's happening is that these images are being seen as being misinformation, not the right information, or information that misguides people. So when you put those out there, there's a chance that the algorithm will catch up, and then you will not rank as well. Now, there's also the danger that if you have enough of these on your website will be seen as low quality. And when that happens, your pages start either getting deranked, or you'll start seeing a decline in your rankings because you lose rankings to your competitors that have real images. Now, what should you do? My advice here is try to avoid using AI images. But if you use AI images, for instance, if you have like an image of a bear versus a grizzly, make sure that it's labeled as an AI image. So you tell Google, in the caption as well as in the alt text, that this is an AI generated image and it's not a factual fight between a grizzly and a bear or whatever. Also, What Google wants to see is transparency. So if it's on a page with AI generated content, written content, make sure that you mention that the image is AI generated, the content is AI generated, but it's human edited or human created. That will make a big difference, and that has made a big difference. I've been testing this on some of my sites that have loads and loads of AI images. I've not seen a drop in traffic from them since I'm beginning to mention explicitly that these are AI generated images, mention the engine in which that image was generated, for instance, Midjourney. So I would mention Midjourney hyphen AI generated image and then give it a name. So that's the way I do it. You don't have to do it that way. You can find another way around this. So if you've been hit by this, if you're seeing a decline in your traffic because of this, just make sure to mention that is. Now, you will probably still see a drop in traffic because if Google wants to show real images for that SERP, it will not show your image or your images. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If there's someone is searching for a realistic image or Google thinks that the SERP is for a realistic image, you're not going to show up. Now, the argument can be made that even if you don't do this, your images will not show up if it's AI generated. Well, the problem with that is if you're not mentioning it, that is deception right there. So you're doing something to rank and you're deceiving Google. So Google has said, and even if you upload a YouTube video, Google asks you if any part of your video is AI generated. And if you say no, and it's an AI generated video, sooner or later Google's algorithm does catch up, or YouTube's algorithm does catch up. So in this case, it's the same thing with Google. Read their guidelines and make sure you're familiar with it. And I don't think this is going to be a huge problem, but worth testing, worth checking out. And let me know in the comments below if you've noticed a decline in your image traffic because you've been using AI generated images. Also, what we need to do is we need to do a versus. So we need to versus a real image versus an AI image and kind of test that out on our websites and see how well that's doing before we can decide whether or not Google is in fact hitting websites that have extensive AI images on them. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this, whether or not this will improve SERPs, and if you think Zach knows is correct. Like and subscribe as always, and happy ranking.